As the group stage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup reaches its final moments, one question is taking over every football conversation on the planet. Not who got through, not which upsets shook the bracket. The question everyone is asking is the one that matters most. Who is actually going to win this thing? Because here's what makes this tournament unlike anything we've seen before. 48 teams, 3 host nations, 104 matches across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And after everything we've seen over the last 2.5 weeks, there is still no clear, undeniable walkaway favorite. There are contenders, there are stories, there are moments that have already written themselves into football history, but a guaranteed winner? That's still anyone's guess. So today, we're going to do something ambitious. We're going to go through every serious contender still alive in this tournament as of June 27, 2026, break down what they've shown us, and build the most honest World Cup prediction we can based on real performance, real data, and everything this group stage has already told us. If you love football, you're going to want to stay with us for every single minute of this one. This is the 2026 FIFA World Cup prediction breakdown, and it starts right now. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a breakdown like this one. We post new football content every single week, and this World Cup is giving us so much to work with. Now, before we get into individual teams, let's just appreciate how wild this group stage has been. We've had African nations making history. We've had co-hosts performing with genuine ambition. We've had upsets, records shattered, and moments that will be talked about for decades. This tournament feels different. It feels bigger, louder, and more unpredictable than anything that came before it. And that's exactly why predicting a winner is so difficult and so much fun to try. Let's start with the team that every betting market, every data model, and every football analyst is pointing to as the #1 favorite coming out of the group stage: France. Let's be completely honest here. What France have done in the group stage has been genuinely frightening. They've won all 3 of their matches, they've scored 10 goals in the process, and they've done it with a level of attacking variety that very few teams in World Cup history have been able to match. The headline story, the one that has dominated the football world in the last 48 hours, involves Ousmane Dembélé. In France's final group game against Norway, the reigning Ballon d'Or winner scored a first-half hat-trick, all 3 goals arriving inside the first 32 minutes. That is the second earliest hat-trick in men's World Cup history, and the way he scored them, 3 completely different finishes, different angles, different situations, showed a level of clinical finishing that very few players on earth can replicate. Dembélé now has 4 goals in this tournament, after also getting on the scoresheet against Iraq. He is the first Ballon d'Or winner to score a World Cup hat-trick since Cristiano Ronaldo did it against Spain back in 2018. But here's what makes France truly dangerous. It's not just Dembélé. Kylian Mbappé also has 4 goals and has added 3 assists. Michael Olise has been brilliant with 3 assists of his own, and younger players like Bradley Barcola and Désiré Doué are chipping in too. This isn't a one-man team. This is a functioning, devastating attacking unit, and their 10 goals from 3 group games show it isn't a fluke. France will face a third-place qualifier in the round of 32 in New Jersey. On current form, they're expected to move through comfortably and begin the serious knockout business from the round of 16 onward. The case for France to win this tournament is simple and powerful. They have the goals, they have the depth, and they have the experience of already reaching a World Cup final in 2022, where they pushed Argentina all the way. Right now, the odds makers have them as the clear favorite, and based on the evidence from this group stage, it's hard to argue. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our in-depth breakdown of France's knockout route. That video is coming very soon, and trust us, you won't want to miss it. Now let's talk about the defending champions, Argentina, Lionel Messi, and a story that feels like it was written for the big screen. Messi arrived at this World Cup at 38 years old, carrying a minor hamstring concern and carrying the weight of an entire nation on his shoulders once again. In his first game, he answered every single question. A hat-trick against Algeria in a 3-0 opening win, his first ever hat-trick at a FIFA World Cup, and a moment that tied him with Germany legend Miroslav Klose as the joint all-time top scorer at the tournament with 16 goals. Then came the Austria match, and then came history. Messi scored twice more, breaking Klose's record entirely and becoming the outright highest scorer in men's World Cup history with 18 goals, at 38, in his 6th World Cup, becoming the oldest hat-trick scorer in World Cup history in the process. Think about what that means. This man has been at the very top of the sport for 20 years, and he's still breaking records, still making defenders look helpless, still making grown adults cry at watch parties around the world. Argentina have qualified for the round of 32 as Group J winners and will face Cape Verde, the most unlikely story of this whole tournament, the tiny island nation making their World Cup debut and somehow qualifying for the knockouts. Argentina are expected to get through that match, and when they do, the serious work begins, with Messi chasing the one thing that would cap the most remarkable individual career the sport has ever seen, becoming only the 3rd man in history to lift back-to-back World Cup titles. The question hanging over Argentina isn't about Messi's quality, it's about his body. Can a 38-year-old carry a team through 7 knockout matches over the next 3 weeks? The rest of the squad are solid but not spectacular in the way France's supporting cast are. If Messi stays fit and stays sharp, Argentina are a genuine final contender. If something happens to him, the picture changes entirely. Now let's look at Spain, because they've been quietly excellent in a way that hasn't got enough attention. Spain finished Group H without conceding a single goal, the first time in their history they've kept a clean sheet through the entire group stage. They beat Uruguay 1-0 to top the group, and they did it playing controlled, composed football with a young squad brimming with confidence. Lamine Yamal has already scored his first World Cup goal in this tournament, doing it in his hometown of Barcelona's surrounding area, and the emotional weight of that moment added another layer to an already remarkable story. Spain's unbeaten run in all competitions now stands at 33 games. That's not a team in decent form, that's a team that has figured something out. Their defensive organization, combined with attacking flair from Yamal and others, makes them one of the most complete sides in the tournament. And the odds boards have them as second favorite behind France, which tells you something. Spain will face the runner-up of Group J in the round of 32, either Austria or Algeria, and if they get through that, the route opens up in an interesting way. A potential quarterfinal against Argentina or Messi's side would be the kind of match that writes its own legacy. While we're breaking all of this down, we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below telling us who you think wins the 2026 World Cup. Is it France, Argentina, Spain, or is someone else about to surprise us all? We read every single comment, so let us know. And if you're not subscribed yet, now is the perfect time, because this World Cup conversation is only going to get bigger from here. At the time of recording, Iran finished 3rd in Group G with 3 points from 3 draws. Belgium won the group with 5 points, and Egypt finished 2nd on 5 points as well, only separated by goal difference, with Belgium's 5-1 win over New Zealand on the same night proving decisive. Iran are now among the candidates to advance as one of the 8 best third-place teams across all 12 groups. Whether they make it depends on results in other groups finishing later. The wait is agonizing. And this is what makes this entire story so layered, because even setting aside the circumstances surrounding Iran's participation, the football itself has been remarkable. 3 draws, an unbeaten record, a goalkeeper who has made some of the finest saves of the tournament, a captain in Taremi who has been involved in almost every dangerous moment his team has created, even when the goals have been taken away from him. Iran would become only the 3rd Asian nation to finish the group stage of a World Cup unbeaten, following Japan in 2002 and 2026 and South Korea in 2002. That is the company they are keeping, and it has been achieved under circumstances that no other team at this tournament has faced. If you're finding this story as compelling as we do, hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment below. Do you think Iran were treated fairly by VAR? Or do you think this is another example of technology failing football at the worst possible moment? Let us know. Now, stepping back from Iran specifically,
The broader VAR conversation at the 2026 World Cup is not going away. Semi-automated offside technology was introduced partly to speed up decisions and remove human error from the process. In theory, it uses multiple cameras, player tracking data, and an artificial intelligence system to pinpoint the exact moment of contact and measure player positions with remarkable accuracy. When it works correctly, it is extraordinarily precise. The 3D visualizations that appear on broadcast screens are supposed to give fans and coaches immediate clarity on why a decision was made. But the system's credibility took a hit during the Switzerland-Qatar match, and the time it took to review the Iran sequences, both the Taremi goal and now the Khalilzadeh situation, has once again raised questions about transparency. When VAR takes a goal away, fans want to see exactly why. They want the graphic. They want the lines. They want to understand what the technology is telling them. And when that transparency is delayed, or when the system itself experiences outages, trust erodes. That is the challenge FIFA faces at a tournament of this scale. Hundreds of millions of people are watching. Decisions happen in seconds, and the explanation needs to come just as fast. There are also genuine questions about where the line should be drawn on marginal offside calls. The law is clear. Any part of the body that can score a goal must be onside: a shoulder, a hip, a foot. But at what point does a margin become so small that the practical difference is meaningless? This is a debate that has been happening in football for years, and this World Cup has brought it back with renewed intensity. Some coaches and analysts have started calling for a tolerance threshold, a small buffer zone that would prevent goals from being disallowed by a centimeter or a fraction of a body part. FIFA has shown no indication of moving in that direction, but the pressure is building. What happens next for Iran is something the entire football world is watching closely. If the results go their way, they advance to the round of 32 as one of the best third-place finishers and write one of the most remarkable stories in the history of the World Cup. A team that faced extraordinary obstacles from before the tournament even began, denied by VAR twice during the group stage, still finding a way through. If the results don't go their way, this team will still be remembered. The dignity they showed throughout the tournament, the quality of their football, the resilience of their squad, it was all real. They left a note in their locker room after the Belgium match that read, "We came here with pride, competed with honor, and leave with dignity." That line was written before the Egypt game, before the 93rd minute, before the crossbar. Imagine what they must be feeling now. For FIFA, the pressure to deliver clarity on VAR decisions is only going to grow as the tournament moves into its knockout stages. Every match now is elimination football. Every decision matters more, and if the semi-automated offside system fails to provide the instant transparency it promised, the criticism will become much louder. There is no easy answer to the VAR debate. Technology has made football fairer in many ways: incorrect red cards reversed, clear penalties given that would have been missed, goals correctly awarded when a ball has crossed the line. But it has also introduced a kind of cold precision that sometimes feels at odds with the emotion of the game. When a goal is taken away by a fraction of a millimeter, there is always going to be a human reaction, because football is a human sport. And in Seattle, on the 26th of June, that human reaction told you everything. Players collapsed on the pitch, tears in the rain, a crossbar hit in the final seconds, a nation waiting to find out if their World Cup is over. If you've made it to this point, I genuinely want to know what you think. Was VAR right to disallow Khalilzadeh's goal? Or do you feel that, given the context of everything Iran has been through at this tournament, the sport owes them something better than a marginal offside in the 93rd minute?